What 20% of things get me 80% of what I want? I heard this on a Hamza video a little while ago now. I don't even remember what the video was called. But what this means is, what are the smaller number of things in your life that get you the bulk of the output that you want? Because in life there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. I don't need to tell you that. I think everybody kind of has tasted that a little bit. There's sometimes too much. What are the select few things that yield you the most output, the most that you want out of life, you know? For me, this is just doing the actual hard work, you know? Not to overcomplicate it and do this technique for studying and do this rule for in between working sessions, 5 minutes on working, 5 minutes off. No, I just do the hard work as best as I can. For me, what yields the most results is just doing the hard work, like I said, working out, and eating right, and sleeping. Like, really overcomplicating it beyond these 4 things is, you know, and it's not like this covers everything. It's what 20% of things cover this 80% of things, you know? So the rest of the 20% is sort of like filler, you know? Here's the essentials, and then everything else is kind of secondary. You know what I mean? And, you know, this 20% of things that is secondary to the 80% of what you want, it's really like, it's debatable. I guess it's up to your interpretation whether or not you want to keep them around. Because you could make yourself even more optimized if you just got rid of these things completely. But sometimes you just can't. Like, for example, in my life, an example of the 20% of things that really don't yield me the results that I want is like taking long breaks after I've eaten, or sleeping after I've eaten, like taking a nap after I'm done eating. 'Cause really, the day is not done yet, and all I'm doing by taking a nap after eating is reducing the amount of daylight hours that I have to do my work. And also, because I'm kind of sleeping here, I'm kind of ruining my grand sleep at the end of the day. So that's something I can just think of off the top of my head. Something else is like giving too much time to people who I don't really want to give it to, you know? I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to. Maybe not everybody, but like, I don't want to stick around talking to you. I want to go do my own thing, but it feels like I have to stay, you know? So that's something that I'm trying to work on. But enough about me now. I want to get to the next, like the second half of the first part of what I was saying. So, first of all, we said, what 20% of things get me 80% of what I want? 20% of things get me 80% of what I want. Now, the opposite side of it is, what are the 80% of things in your life that get you 20% of what you want? So what are the things in your life that you are just giving way too much effort for, and they don't give you anything back? And I'm sure that you can think of maybe quite a bit of things like that in your life. Even if you have been trying to optimize your schedule completely, there's always going to be something, you know? I think that's kind of the trouble with this. Maybe Hamza couldn't see it this way, but like, you can't optimize everything. I know maybe some people are going to take that as a challenge, but really, you can't optimize everything, because there's always going to be something that's like a variable in your life that, like, I have to take care of this. I should take care of this. I gotta put other things on the back burner for now. And then it's like, it's something that is not as important to you, but it still needs to be done, you know? So there are some things. Some obvious things that we put a lot of time into and don't get a lot out of is like video games, for example. Or like choking the chicken. Like, they don't really do anything for you. They're not doing you good service. At least, like, video games, probably not anymore. It probably has given you some insight in how you see the world, but at this point, I think we've taken enough. I think we've taken all we can from these video games, you know? Now it's just a matter of, like, if you see a video game character that you think is cool in a video game, maybe try to emulate him in real life through you. That's about as much as I think that we can take from video games, you know? At this point, there's not much more for us. And so that's why, even though even though, like, Dark Souls is badass, like, Call of Duty Zombies, I don't play them anymore because I just don't see really anything coming out of them. Even though it's fun, I know that fun is not always, like, the best thing. Like, that's not true, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's fun, but it's not real. I don't know. I just don't play them anymore because I can't. I can't do it anymore. Now, something like video games or Jerkin the Gherkin, those are kind of obvious things, right? Obvious things that don't yield us as much as we put in. Because we put in quite a bit of time, if you think back, if you're anything like me. Sometimes these things are not as obvious as video games, you know? I think sometimes, like, the people that you give your time to, you know? I was talking a little bit earlier about that. The people that you give your time to that you kind of don't really want to. Like, I can see now that that's something that I could work on. That's something that I could try to, like, what's the word? Mitigate? But sometimes it's not that obvious, you know? Sometimes the people are obviously not people that you want to be around all the time. But sometimes the people are more of a detriment than even you think they are. Sometimes the people are just stealing away your time for really no good reason, and you can't see it because it's someone giving you attention, someone being friendly to you, you know? Sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes it's not as obvious as I'm gonna spend some time playing video games, you know? Sometimes it's not obvious, and sometimes it's not even conscious. Sometimes you just don't even think about it. Sometimes you just, oh yeah, you want to go there? Yeah, sure, I'll come. Just no resistance whatsoever. You're gonna give up the rest of your day, everything that you had planned, just because somebody said, want to go? You can say no. That's something that I'm trying to work on too. You can say no. It's just, like, kind of awkward, but you can say no. It's, like, easier said than done. Easier said than done. Something else I was thinking about that is not so obvious is, the people who watch, like, Andrew Huberman. Actually, I won't say the people who watch. I'm just going to say Andrew Huberman, if you know him. He's kind of this science self-improvement guy. I think he's pretty cool. But I think he says, like, an ass load of stuff that you should do in your morning routine, you know? And it's not just him. It's, like, everybody in the self-improvement space is saying, like, something different that you should do in your morning routine. And then people watch all the videos and they kind of stack it all together. So it's like this big fat morning routine that takes forever to get through. And it's like, not only is it like a chore to get through all of it, it's not like fluid and actually even good for you. It's like it's too much. And then by the time you're done your morning routine, it's like now you can get started your work. Why don't you just work in the morning instead? Like my current morning routine is I try not to make it so loose. Like I try to keep it consistent every single day. Usually it's like 30 minutes because Andrew Huberman said that it's good to see the sun in the morning, so I try to incorporate that. I also try to incorporate gratitude journaling every morning and meditation. Like I try, even if it's not like a good meditation, I try. And that's basically it, you know. It doesn't take me too long. Sometimes it takes me quicker, sometimes it takes me longer. But I usually try to get those 3 things in, alongside taking like a morning piss. That's like usually my morning routine. And then I just get to work, whatever needs to be done, whether it's like this stuff for YouTube or it's schoolwork. Whatever is most pressing in my mind. Whatever I've kind of planned to do the night before as well. Anyway, I know that I'm not exactly giving like step-by-step advice. This video is more just like keep it in mind, you know? Like I think everybody knows like don't eat junk food. Video games are like I could be doing something else. Like everybody kind of knows that. So that's not really the part of this video that I wanted to really push, but it's like look at the statement again. What 20% of things get me 80% of what I want? So what are these few things that are the most important in my life? For like I said before, for me it's like just doing the hard work, just like not overcomplicating it, just do it. Working out, eating, and sleeping. Those are like the most important pillars. Without those, like why would I prioritize I would rather prioritize these things than I would like prioritizing taking a cold shower in the morning. Like I'm sure you've heard of like the cold plunges, the cold showers, right? They wake you up. I think like this would be nice to incorporate, but why would I interrupt myself in the morning? Why would I guess it's not really interrupting myself, but it's like it's just more time away from these 20% of things that are the most important. So I think once you can optimize this 20%, like what times of the day am I most productive? Here, and here. So here, I'm definitely going to be working on something. Here, I have a little bit of time where I'm not so productive. You know, I've been productive here, so I'm kind of tired here. So now here, I'll do something that maybe is part of that, like, rest of the business. Everything that's secondary, I can kind of take care of that now. Or, you know, it's like, this is how you kind of optimize in my mind, you know. It's up to you what you want to fill your day with. At this point, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I think, am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. I think that was everything I wanted to talk about. Hopefully, this helps you. Hopefully. Because I think it's helped me to see a little bit more. Anyway, take care, man.